3 Japanese Tales. 1. For Love of Song. On a festival day at Tennoji around 1202, when the temple's famous relics of the Buddha were to be brought out as usual for the pilgrims, the divine powers refused to let the doors of the reliquary open. Apparently, someone in the crowd was unclean. The priest had the people step back a little, but still the doors could not be budged. "Is anyone here a good singer or dancer?" cried an old priest. "If so, now's the time to show off your art." Middle Captain Mermoshi came forward and sang a Kagura song, the kind so often offered to the gods. The reliquary doors opened immediately. It was so like the time when the sun goddess pushed open the door of her heavenly rock cave. The light again burst upon the world. 2. 3 Angels. The versatile Makoto, a son of Emperor Saga and the minister of the left, was an especially fine musician. On the long, mellow-sounding zither called the koto, no one could compare with him. One evening he became so absorbed in his playing that he went on all night, never even closing the lattice work shutters that swung up horizontally to open onto the garden. Finally, near dawn, he began a rare and very difficult piece. His own heart swelled with the wonder and beauty of the music. Noticing a light over one of the shutters, he stole out, mystified, for a look. 3 angels, each a foot tall, were dancing on the shutter, and the light was their shining presence. They had come down to hear him, and he was filled with tender awe. What a lovely thing to have happened. 3. Give me music. The monk Rene lived in Nara in Emperor Ichijo's time. The god who protected this temple, Kofukuji, was at the Kasaga shrine nearby. One day, after presiding over an especially solemn rite, Rene came to the shrine and meditated a while. He reviewed in his mind, as he did so, the full range of his sacred learning, and offered it all to the god who, he was sure, could only be pleased. Suddenly, the shrine attendants began making music for the god, with drums and bells. Rene frowned. "This is all very well," he thought, "but I can't have them making such a racket while I'm offering the god the Buddha's own wisdom. If I ever get to be abbot, I'll see that the sort of thing doesn't happen again." When Rene did become abbot, he silenced the music, and the shrine became so cold and lifeless that people were afraid to come near it. No one complained because Rene was so powerful. Having reached the pinnacle of glory in this life, Rene finally began a 7-day retreat to the shrine to play, with many a heartfelt tear for the god's protection on the path to enlightenment in the life to come. When the god gave no answering sign, he stayed on another 7 days. At dawn on the last day, he dozed off for a small moment, and saw a gentleman in formal court dress emerge from the sanctuary. Tears of gratitude sprang to Rene's eyes, because this was surely the god coming to grant him his prayer. But when the gentleman had come far enough down the sanctuary steps for Rene to see his face, his expression turned out to be an angry scowl. Afraid now, Rene hurriedly reminded the god of his blameless life and many countless merits, and he protested bewilderment at this display of divine wrath. For some time the god glared at him. Then he finally opened his mouth and spoke. "The drum's lively beat resounds in the palace of truth. In wisdom's mirror may be seen the lightly shaken bells." Then he vanished. The horrified Rene rued his folly. Before leaving, he carefully ordered that the drums and bells should never again be silenced, for any reason whatsoever.